I don't know how to mix audio for speakers, so headphones are recommended. Thank you. After Doom's unbelievable success, id were on top of the world. According to the book Masters of Doom by David Kushner, the guys at id were rolling in money, at points earning up to $100,000 a day. We don't have much photography of their spendings, but we do have John Carmack next to his sick-ass Ferrari. With that much success, of course, there was hype for a sequel. The elevator pitch for Doom 2 was simple. Since John Carmack was still steadily at work constructing his 3D engine that would power Quake, Doom 2 was not only a stellar business decision, but a welcome refresher and necessary stopgap for Carmack to complete his work. As such, Doom 2 is very similar to Doom 1. The engine was reused. It was just all new levels, one more weapon, 7 new enemies, and a new final boss. In the level design department, John Romero makes his return, along with new hires American McGee and Sean Green. And of course, Sandy Peterson. Exactly 10 months after the first game, Doom 2 was released on October 10th, 1994. It sold immensely well, more than any game it had made before. It became the highest-selling software product of 1994 and sold 1.2 million units within a year of its release. Critics praised it to hell and back, citing its refinement and improvement of the Doom formula, and to this day, the game is still played on a daily by a large, dedicated community of passionate fans. Welcome to Doom 2.
When you want to play the hottest, fastest, most advanced fighting game ever, forget everything else and play Doom 2 on your PC. No other game gives you the incredible realism, the 360-degree smooth scrolling, and explosive action like Doom 2. It's easy to start playing, but it won't let you stop. Doom 2, it will consume you. Play solo against a computer, against a buddy by modem, or online in an awesome 4-way deathmatch. Doom 2, playing in a PC software store near you.
The chapter names I'll be using in this video are unofficial ones found on the Doom Wiki, as Doom 2 is also split very neatly into 3 parts, even if it doesn't have an episode select menu. I'll be playing on Ultra Violence difficulty on GZ Doom with 110 FOV and free look, because that is how I'm comfortable. If you say you don't like that, I don't care. Alright? Let's go. Entryway. Entryway is an introductory map. Not too much to say about it, it's pretty small and simple. But despite the size, it has 4 whole secrets within its walls. Of course, the chainsaw when you turn around right at the start, never forget that. Press this button and you get this green armor, also never forget. Go through the hallway, up this elevator, kill the imp, then press this button. This opens the outside and gives you the first shotgun of the game. Run quickly over this light fixture, which opens a rocket launcher. In just the first map, you should have a chainsaw, 100 armor and health, a shotgun, and a rocket launcher. Doom 1's E1M1 is very iconic, especially with its music. But if you ask a modern classic Doom fan which song they remember most, they'll say it's... Not only is this the map you'll see most when testing out various mods, which we'll get to later, it was also the default choice in many a deathmatch. Need proof? Here's John Romero and YouTuber Decino playing some deathmatch on this exact map.
Damn it, I can't believe that.
The tightly packed layout is perfect for hectic action, and you're never left searching for your opponent. Which brings me to a small, yet very important footnote in multiplayer gaming history. Dwango was an online multiplayer Doom service that started in 1994, the first of its kind to exist. And as it turns out, people loved it. Deathmatching became very popular, and soon thousands were connecting to its servers from all over the world. As a result, map compilations were created to play on Dwango, and the most well-known of all was this. Dwango 5's SS Map 1, or D5M1, is possibly the most played Doom map ever. It features a modified layout of Entryway, with many added weapons, teleporters, and hallways to facilitate deathmatching. And from personal experience, I can say it is a lot of fun. The music is spectacular. Interestingly, the main Dwango company went out of business in 1998, but its Japanese subdivision, which spun off to become its own entity, is now both owned by Kadokawa Corporation and the sole owner of both the Nico Nico video website and developer Spike Chunsoft. Yes, that Spike Chunsoft. Huh, turns out there was a lot to talk about. Underhalls. Underhalls kinda sucks. The entire map is a series of long, wet and dark hallways. In fact, it might just be the first sewer level in FPS gaming history. At least in spirit. The map isn't great, but its biggest redeeming quality is that it introduces you to this. The super shotgun. This is it. The greatest shotgun in gaming history, period. Shotguns in other games may be cooler, louder, some may even shoot faster and deal more relative damage, but none of them come close to the eloquent yet satisfying feeling of unloading this masterpiece. The animation, the firing rate, especially the sound effects, everything is perfect. Nothing's quite like the feeling of mowing down a huge group of low-tier enemies with the SSG. This thing's effective at medium range as well, which cements his role as Doom 2's primary workhorse. You really have to try to believe it, and those who have will attest to its excellence. Anyway, the rest of the map isn't really that interesting. It is one of the most difficult maps to have ever been done in Pacifist, which is going through the entire thing without hurting any enemies. I highly recommend watching the Carl Jobs video for more information. The Gantlet. A gantlet or gauntlet is a form of punishment where people are forced to run in between two rows of people swinging at them with sticks, hence running the gauntlet. You learn something new every day. The chain gunner makes his first appearance here, and these are some proper A-tier douchebags. They shoot their rapid-fire hit-scan chain gun at you without pause until you're either out of their sight or dead. They're the highest priority enemies in almost every scenario, because to compensate for their low health, they can hit you like a motherfucker, and you have no chance to dodge their attacks. But goddamn, it's made up for plenty by their wonderful death animation, and even better jibs. Boom! Man, I love this game's sprite work. The map itself ain't too interesting, but it's not bad. Remember to strafe run here and get this nice secret. And if you're ultra mega lazy, you can turn on jump in the settings and just jump on this ledge, skipping the entire first half of the map. You call it cheating, I call it cheating. Yeah, it's cheating. The focus. I've only ever played through this map while having the weapons and armor of the previous maps, so it's usually a breeze. But when I tried playing the map pistol start for this video, it was a surprising challenge. The horde of hit scanners was a humbling handful, as their volleys of gunfire can kill me in seconds. So my strategy was to shoot some pot shots and then take advantage of the infighting system, which allows enemies to agitate and kill each other without my input. Then I just go out there and pick up the pieces. Anyway, check this out. This was sick for 94. You'd think you have to press this button to lower the platform, but you actually have to stand on this box for some reason. I'll probably never figure out what this button does in my lifetime. The ending for this map did give me a little bit of trouble, and if you were to take anything from this video, it should be to never give chain gunners a chance. Pause. How's it going, folks? This is Carbine. This is map 5 of 32, so we are a long way to go. But I'd just like to say something I've been meaning to say, and something you probably have noticed already. This game looks like ass. Look, this game was made in 10 months, and we should be glad that they decided to focus on the gameplay. But what we get from that is a game that plays amazing, but looks like butt cheeks. So that's why I'm here to introduce you to a brand new eye cleansing system, known as the Color Break. Fun's over, folks. We're back to the cold, hard world. Map 5, the Waste Tunnels. I generally like this map. It has enough enemy quantity to keep it interesting, and the fights are beginning to become more dynamic. My biggest problem with it, though, is that half of the map is you going through this dark, dirty, and damp tunnel, but instead of a tech sewer like map 2, it's an actual sewer. The gameplay isn't bad, but it leaves me wanting a lot more. This was probably scary back in 1994, but when you've played this map 1,000 times like I have, you start to wish that your action game didn't look like shit.
Due to feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad.
Here's this guy. The Hell Knight is like a Baron, but white and half as strong. These guys mostly serve the purpose that Barons held in Doom 1. Slow-moving tanks that can shoot projectiles and be obstacles for your movement. Except this time, you can actually kill them with relative speed. Hell Knights occupy a happy medium between the squishies and the bosses, a great addition to the enemy roster. Map 6, the Crusher. This one is cool because it's called the Crusher, and there's a thing that crushes a spider, which is called a Crusher, and that's why the map is called that. Anyway, the rest of the map has nothing to do with Crushers, but it's pretty well paced with some substantial fights. Check out this cool staircase over here. We do see a new face to the enemy roster, and these guys are essential. The Revenant is a skeleton with 2 cannons bolted on his shoulders. The fireball these boners shoot can either fly straight ahead or become a homing missile that targets you. Get too close, they also unleash their punch attack. Keep a reasonable distance, dodge the fireballs, or make them hit walls, and you should be good. Okay, you can stop. Overall, a pretty good map, and one of the highlights of episode 1 to be sure. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why can't I leave? Why can't I? What? Fuck this map. You have entered deeply into the infested starport, but something is wrong. The monsters have brought their own reality with them, and the starport's technology is being subverted by their presence. Ahead, you see an outpost of hell, a fortified zone. If you can get past it, you can penetrate into the haunted heart of the starbase and find the controlling switch which holds Earth's population hostage. One of the most imitated maps in Doom history, Dead Simple is dead simple. It's a square. Then it opens up to a bigger square. Kill everything, and then you win. A lot of build-up for a map that isn't all that interesting if you know how to dodge some projectiles. But speaking of which, the Mancubus. This guy is an asshole in any circumstance. Living walls of flesh that shoot these huge fireballs that don't home in like a revenant's, but make up for it in size, speed, damage potential, and frequency. Their biggest weakness is that they can barely move. Best way to beat these guys is to shoot their very large center of mass and learn how to strafe away from those flames. Oh yeah, did you know? The larger enemy sprites of Doom are actually based on 3D models, which were then digitized into sprites, much like Donkey Kong Country or Mortal Kombat. Except these models were real-life statues that id still has somewhere in their office. I'd love to collect those, but they're probably like $500,000 at least. After you've taken out the last Mancubus, then you gotta contend with the Arachnotrons. I don't really care for them. They're shrunken down spider masterminds that shoot plasma balls. That's it. Medium damage, medium health, etc. A somewhat boring yet underutilized enemy in this roster. They have an incredibly high pain chance, which is a stun state activated after taking damage, so anything that's rapid fire can take them out very quickly. But they do have a sick death animation. God damn! To effectively fight Arachnotrons, never stop moving and continually fire at their direction, and they have absolutely no way of hurting you. Folks, the maps we've had so far have been relatively standard fare, because most of them were made by American McGee. But this map right here, this is where Sandy Peterson starts to kick in, relishing his role as a virtual sculptor of hell itself. Most of the remaining game is going to be Sandy, folks. Strap in, we got a long way to go. The gimmick to tricks and traps is doors. There are a total of 8, with 2 locked by keycards, so it's up to you to decide which order of the remaining 6 to go in first. In other words, you are entirely dependent on trial and error. Which is great. I'll just tell you what happened. First run, I got trapped in a hallway with the Baron and had no ammo to take him out. Dead. Second run, went into this room with, oh shit! 1,000,000 Barons and a Cyber Demon fighting to the death. Most screenshots of this map are usually of this section, because it was unlike anything else. High-tier enemies infighting like this really was a spectacle to the millions of players who witnessed it for the first time. Ran out of invulnerability. Dead. Third run. Everything was turning out alright. I was clearing 2 or 3 rooms, but then I was cornered by Pinkies while going for a secret. Dead, dead, and dead. But then, fuck it. Gaming mode. No way, right? No. No, there's no way. There is no way. Tips for creating good WADs from the official Doom Wiki. Do not create inescapable traps or areas, such as pits without exit, which force the player to no-clip the way out of them or reload a saved game. You may be able to get away with this if it's in the very beginning of a level. Thus, when the player dies, not much progress is lost when the player restarts. Well, not to fucking Sandy. This section is strategically placed at the end of the map, after you've gone through all that shit, and it's just cheeky enough where if you breeze through it, you wouldn't notice a thing. But if you slip up, it hurts so much more. But honestly, that's just the Peterson way. If you don't keep an open mind, you will never win. Why am I combining these two maps into one section? Because these maps possess two of the most heinous game design crimes I can think of. One being map design, and the other being one of the worst gaming creatures ever to be conceived. Let's start with the latter. Remember in Doom 1 where I said Lost Souls were the worst enemy? They charge straight at you so you can't use rockets, take 2 whole shotgun shots to kill, and deal way too much damage. Fortunately in that game, Lost Souls were manually placed into existence, therefore only a limited quantity of them could wreak havoc. So of course, this had to happen. The Pain Elemental. A fitting name for Doom's most hated enemy, and a guaranteed first ballot for the Gaming Bullshit Hall of Fame, this thing is a living, breathing Lost Soul dispenser. Here's how they work. If you aggro a Pain Elemental, it begins shooting multiple Lost Souls at your direction, and will continue to do so until there are 21 Lost Souls in the level. What's tricky is that Pain Elementals are often placed in crowded locations, either forcing your attention away while it spawns more souls, or making you focus on it while taking fire from everything else. They don't go down easy either, and when they do, they spawn even more Lost Souls, although there's a strangely high chance of them just dying by themselves. As you can guess, things can get out of hand. Best way to kill them is to use a chain gun or plasma gun to stun them and prevent them from releasing souls, but that may or may not be viable in different situations. In a room full of projectile enemies, Pain Elementals are first priority. In a room full of hit scanners, good luck. So anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about, and my most hated game design concept, if you can even call it that, mandatory secrets. Put simply, these are secrets that you can technically beat a level without, but your experience will be highly compromised. Take for example the Berserk I picked up just now. Just a bit later, I would run completely out of ammo fighting Pain Elementals, and would have been unable to continue had it not been for my punch attack. But that's not all with this map. This chart indicates how many Pain Elementals there are in map 9, corresponding with difficulty. Here's I'm Too Young to Die and Hey Not Too Rough with 2. Here's Hurt Me Plenty with 3. And then... why? There are some other issues on this map, but the Pain Elementals really did make up the worst of them. So, like I do, I went to vent my frustrations in a Doom Discord server that I was in. Doom 2 Map 9 is a scourge. Turning in my gamer card for this because I don't deserve it. 10 pain elementals. 10.
Half of them are harmless, and you get BFG for the rest.
What?! "44 minutes it took me to beat this fucking map, and I could have had a BFG this whole time." Anyway, map 10 was not much better. I did turn my microphone on during the recording though, so you can hear my very real reaction. Here are the highlights. I'll unmute the mic. Fuck it. This is genuinely one of the worst things I've ever played. Oh my god. Genuinely deplorable. Oh, and there's still more! Don't you love Lost Souls? Don't you love them? Don't you fucking love Lost Souls? Why am I here? No! No! I give up. I give the fuck up. I'm not even gonna exaggerate. This is some of the worst shit I've ever played. 300 plus enemies. 300 plus lost souls. There aren't 300 lost souls, but it sure fucking feels like it. Sandy Peterson, there doesn't have to be a fucking lost soul spawner. I forgot the name. I don't care. Piece of shit. Doesn't have to be one of those in every single goddamn room. You don't need that. Okay? You don't. You don't. You don't have to put them in every single fucking nook and cranny. Okay? Please! Just don't do it! Okay, I think you got the point. And the date on that video is not wrong. I've actually been wanting to do a Doom 2 video for over a year now. So I wanted to go back to that map and see if my opinion from over a year ago still rings true, or whether or not that was simply blind rage. And no, I was completely correct. What the fuck? This was a Doom 1 leftover map created by Tom Hall, former creative director of id, but most importantly to us, the guy that basically invented putting secrets in FPS games, since he demanded that they be put in Wolfenstein 3D. So of course, the entire map revolves around finding secrets, and if you don't find them, you will die. I'll end it off like this. 279 monsters, the most in Doom 1 and 2 and Plutonia, and 18 secrets. You need at least 10 to be able to win. Fuck this map. Moving on. Map 11, Circle of Death or O of Destruction. A brief respite for a tired mind. This is the first of a total of 6 Doom 2 maps that John Romero would create, who, if you remember, was responsible for the first and best episode of Doom 1. His maps were combat-centric, sharply designed, and well-paced, with each one being more satisfying to play than the last. And you know what? He pulls it off here too. Circle of Death puts you in a circle only a mother could love, with each surrounding area activating switches and giving keys that lead to the exit. The gimmick isn't forced or even that prevalent, which I see as the best way to do it. You get enough ammo and weapons for the job, the pacing is tight, the layout is intuitive, and it introduces one of the most revered enemies in gaming history. The Archvile. The most revered enemy in all of Doom 2, and I'd argue to be one of the best designed enemies of all time. Here is how a typical Archvile encounter goes. You see the Archvile sees you. You hear this noise, and then fire starts showing up in front of your screen. You either run away out of his sight, or if you can't do that, boom! You either die a painful death, or suffer a huge health consequence as he starts his attack once again. The Archvile has an incredibly strong line of sight attack, which has a brief delay before it hits. The only ways to combat it is to run behind any sort of cover or to activate the Archvile's pain state by shooting at it, which interrupts the attack. Id knew people would try to exploit this pain state, so they made the chance for it to occur extremely low at 3.13%. For context, the Imp's pain chance is 79%. You can mitigate this slightly by using a shotgun, which will activate the check for each pellet, but even at point-blank range, the super shotgun will only activate the pain state 47% of the time. Oh, and another thing. Yeah, Archviles can revive dead enemies straight off the ground, and they can revive every enemy except for lost souls, pain elementals, cyber demons, spider demons, and other Archviles. This makes Archviles public enemy number 1, and if you see one, either run away and go for a flank, or brute force kill it as fast as you can, because if you're complacent, you could die without even knowing where it came from. Anyway, this map is alright. This fight on the bridge can go fuck itself for obvious reasons, and, marking as a transition point, you press this big ass skull to exit.
Mortal, you've done well to make it this far. You've shown much distaste toward my words, but this is just the beginning. There is much suffering yet to come.
Who's calling me at this hour? God damn it. Oh, that's Cobalt. Why would he call me? He never calls me. Dude, what is it? I'm tired. Check my video. Okay. Well, here it is.
Those who have
Doesn't seem to have any particular flaws. I look way too yellow in that camera. Anyway, yeah, it looks fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I'll watch Waffle standing up next. Okay, let's see. Even towards the end. Okay, let's go towards the end. Not like it'll be anything I didn't know about. I gotta go. It's okay. It's okay, Carbine. It's okay. It's okay. He's not real.
Look up.
No. 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 No.
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
And on that note, this episode takes place in the city. Yes, multiple city stages built for an FPS game in 1994, when the technology wasn't even there to have multiple rooms stacked on top of each other, let alone making convincing looking buildings. But honestly, to Sandy's credit, he tried. He really, really did. The Factory. Yes, dear viewer, this map is exactly as boring as it looks. Not helped any by being paired with the worst music track in the game. Where to start? First off, none of this environment even remotely reminds me of a factory, or even an area humans have a chance of inhabiting. Second, the map itself is a boring, monotone mess of slop. You spend way too much time inside this large, brown wooden area that wasn't even given the courtesy of lighting, because that would make it too interesting. No, you just traipse back and forth without any clear direction. These platforms rise when you walk over them, which is pretty cool, I guess. Otherwise, enemy placement is thin and inconsistent, it's ass to look at, the music sucks, let's just move on. Breathe, Carbine, breathe. Whew, you got 15 maps to go. No, wait, it's actually 20. Fuck! When it said they wanted this episode to be in a city, they meant it, goddammit. So, even considering the limitations of this primitive rock of an engine, Sandy still decided to make a realistic looking location. But it's still an FPS map, and a Doom map at that. So how would you go about guiding players through this giant labyrinth that doesn't seem to have a clear starting point? Oh, I know! A giant arrow! To any aspiring game designers out there, if you have to have this kind of signposting in your level to make it legible, maybe just delete that level and try again. The music track for this map is again really boring, but this time, it's personal. Because in the Doom 2 soundtrack, there is specifically a track called Into Sandy City. It was used in Map 9, The Pit, which isn't a city. It probably received the raw music files without the names of the songs associated, and I honestly don't care. Into Sandy City is just the de facto better track, and we should have gotten that instead of whatever the fuck we had on this. Anyway, back to the map. The map itself doesn't feel sloppily made, but nothing feels well integrated, and it just fails to entice me in any way. It's ugly. Yeah, it's ugly. Leaving it for someone else to dissect in terms of gameplay, I'll just say this. Map 14, the Inmost Dens. This map is pretty good. I'm sorry you can't tell how much better it is just from gameplay, but believe me, there is so much here that is better. In fact, it kinda reminded me of Knee Deep in the Dead. The map has a straightforward layout, good enemy placement, some solid pacing, and a real feeling of progression. It's certainly a refresher, and the first time in this episode that I truly felt like a map was planned and thought out. There's order, there's symmetry, the textures and architecture are placed logically, it all makes this map feel good. Not great, but I'll take anything at this point. And of course, it was by American McGee. I should have known way sooner because the map completely bucks the city concept, and again opts for more alien-like architecture. Unless this and this can somehow both be found in a city somewhere, and I'm just a giant fucking idiot. I know at least one is true. I would have been absolutely fine with more maps that played like this. But we don't live in that world. No, we don't. Okay, stop. Didn't that sound familiar? It's because it's the exact same song used in Map 1, Entryway. In fact, you might have noticed that Doom 2's been reusing music this whole time. In this 32 map adventure, there are only 21 songs, and only 18 of those are background music for levels. This means it reused songs constantly in this game, with some even getting 3 appearances. With Doom modding bringing the standard that each map should have its own music track ever since 1996, this feels downright archaic in comparison. Maybe it's presumptuous of me to expect so much from a 30-year-old video game, but what that doesn't excuse is... Oh, phone call? What is it now? Hey Carbine. Yes? Wouldn't it be funny if the sequel to one of the greatest video games of all time had an utterly inferior soundtrack compared to the original? That would never happen, right? It's true. What? Doom 1 had more music than Doom 2. And by all accounts, it was much better. Doom 1 was riff-heavy, noisy, rebellious, like it's out there screaming to the world, "Fuck yeah! We're Doom, baby, and we're not scared of anybody!" Doom 2, on the other hand, is slow, plodding, safe, lacking in both character and energy outside of the absolute banger that is Into Sandy City. It's almost like one soundtrack had far more time, effort, and passion put into it, while the other was shoved out the door fast to meet a deadline. As to why Doom 2 had fewer songs, it certainly wasn't Bobby Prince's fault, as MIDIs have resurfaced from around that time, showing that they definitely had enough music for all the maps. No, let's just say, this is the most righteous sacrifice I've ever seen not happen. More later. For now, Map 15, Industrial Zone. It's not bad. Another Romero creation, this map with large-scale structures fares much better than Sandy's previous attempt at it. This chamber with 2 paint elementals, 2 cacos, and a baron literally stunned me. Second time went much better because I know how to kill paint elementals now. This wooden section apparently has a ton of secrets, but I only found one of them. Or 2. A pretty brisk map, honestly, and not one I'd be clamoring to play again. It should have ended there, but I wanted to do one better by trying to show the secret maps as well. So I went to the wiki, and it's like, from the platform the red keycard was on, 209 passageway to get the door, lower the teleporter, leading to a teleporter to the secret level. What? Yeah, I couldn't read it. So I went to YouTube looking for something more visual, and the first result was a speedrun of someone going to that secret exit. Lazy bastard I am, I went for the speedrun route, thinking that it would be faster than playing the map all over again. This was a terrible mistake, because it ended up taking me 14 minutes and went like fuck, no, fuck. Wait, it's been on Nightmare this whole time? I did eventually find the exit, and here are the secret maps. Congratulations, you found a secret level. Looks like it's been built by humans rather than demons. You wonder who the inmates of this corner of hell might be. Map 31, Wolfenstein. This is a full recreation of the first level of id's seminal PC shooter, Wolfenstein 3D. I haven't played Wolfenstein, but judging by the map layouts on the wikis, they did it spot on. The map itself is just you running around a maze shooting some Nazis just like the first game, no big deal. You say, yeah, I guess that's pretty cool, but what about Map 32? I can't find it anywhere. Well, just like Wolf 3D tradition, you gotta hug the walls. Congratulations, you found the super secret level. You'd better blaze through this one. And indeed I did. Map 32 is not much. It's a big red brick arena, and when you go through this door you get jump scared by a cyber. But you can pretty easily weave past him and then head straight to the exit. And you can shoot them? Damn! Folks, let me explain why I think this is nuts. That is Commander Keen, the protagonist of his eponymous series of 2D platformers. They were developed by id before they made Wolf 3D, and eventually Doom. So to put that into perspective, this would be like you playing Super Mario Bros., going down a pipe, and seeing Donkey Kong burning on the cross. Pauline will be free tonight. I get that id were in their edgy era during this time, but god damn! This was in the prime days of the video game violence fiasco. Just imagine what these old-ass senators would have thought when seeing a fucking suicide spaceman in their son's video game. But I digress. You might be wondering by now, why the hell did I call this section The Sacrifice? Well, there's a deep, dark secret that I've uncovered about this Easter egg. One that will change your perception of it forever. It takes up too much space! Look, because of boring math reasons which I'll show on the screen, the original 5 floppy disks that Doom 2 came in did not have enough space to store basically any more files. And this, to me, was the reason why Doom 2 had fewer music tracks than the level count of the game. You may be wondering, and rightfully so, why the hell I care so much about the soundtrack of a 30-year-old video game. Well, it's because if they simply cut off all the secret maps and replace them with some maps similar to those boring ones from Doom 1, there might be a chance I don't have to listen to Dave D. Taylor fucking blues anymore! I love video game music, and I think it can be just as important to a game's legacy as its gameplay and its story. So seeing the ball being dropped this hard on one of the most defining features of the original Doom, its soundtrack, even further cements Doom 2's position as forever being beneath the vast, unescapable shadow of Doom 1. Map 16, Suburbs. I think Sandy just gave up on making this map bear any resemblance to a real location. Like, what the fuck is this? With one exception. This room is apparently based on Sandy Peterson's actual home interior, which is pretty cool considering the technology of the time.
So inside the house here, if you remember Doom 2:16, over here was the entertainment center. It was like a floating eyeball thingy. And then over here is the library, which has a secret chamber. This thing lowers and raises in the Doom level, but you know, not in my game.
See, while all you whippersnappers were over there playing your My House wads, we've been doing this since 1994. Anyway, I am very conflicted on this map. I did one run where I knew none of the secrets, and it was a miserable experience chipping away at this huge horde of enemies with just the super shotgun. I felt like a headless chicken out there. But then I played it again after having read the wiki, and I feel like I understand a little more. I shot the 2 things on the wall to get the secret health and ammo, got the blue keycard behind the imps, opened the unmarked wall to get the rocket launcher, and hit the face switch that unlocked a secret teleporter which leads to the plasma gun. Then, and only then, did I feel like I had enough weaponry to take on the enemies. So then I realized something. Your enjoyment of this map is directly tied to how much you know about it. If you know nothing, it feels like a giant, hostile wasteland. But if you know the secrets, it feels like a worthy challenge. And this all ties back to how Doom's pacing is directly affected by which weapons the player has at any one time. Something which is extremely rare, only prevalent in other shooters of this post-Doom pre-Quake era, such as Hexen or Heretic. This is the reason that there seems to be so many supporters of Sandy Peterson's maps. These people have played the game so much that they know the best routes already to optimally get all the secrets and all the good weapons, and therefore have a far better experience than those who simply do not know. Personally, I think this is bad design. The fun and flow of your level should not be gatekept by how many secrets you know or which optimal route you can think of, but instead, they should be bonuses for players who keep a keen eye out and which makes the level a little bit easier and a little bit more satisfying.
Sean, what map is he on now?
He's just finishing up map 16, sir.
Gosh darn, this guy is slow! Took him so long and he hasn't even gotten to the good part yet. How many—
Sir, you're broadcasting right now.
Oh. Mr. Carbine. Took you long enough? I see you've had many words to say about my city maps.
I'll have you know they were revolutionary and do not deserve your stupid little words making them out to be any less than that.
I mean, they're the first maps of their kind, so you'd kind of expect them to be primitive.
Shut up! I've had it with you, and soon you will know true pain.
Huh. Wonder what that's all about. Map 17, Tenements. Another map by Romero, and it is an absolute breath of fresh air. After you get the red keycard, you are greeted by the central pivot area. It clearly indicates that you can only go one way for now, but we'll be able to progress by getting keycards the same color as these skulls. Sure, it's basic, but it's effective in that it doesn't confuse the living shit out of me, like all of the maps I've been playing before. The challenge also feels right for a map right in the middle of the game, and enemies are placed where they are most effective. The biggest gripe about this map for me is that it simply doesn't have a super shotgun. Come on, Romero, you're not making a Doom 1 map anymore. Give us the best gun in the game for us to play with. Not that much more to talk about here. All in all, it's good. Map 18, the Courtyard. This is Sandy's best map in a long while. First you're introduced to this horde of imps, and then it opens up to a big courtyard of assorted monsters. The whole map pivots around this central area, and I think this is great. Sandy loves making these big, non-linear levels that are insanely confusing to navigate, and a great way to solve that problem is to give us something central and consistent. Hey, it's how the British conquered the world. Anyway, there are good parts and bad parts about this map. Let's start with the good. First off, I think it visually looks way better than anything we've seen from Sandy thus far, and everything feels like it belongs. Second, the combat is good. You can make many comparisons between this map and map 16, but I feel like this one has the edge, thanks to how accessible the weapons are. Super shotguns right here, rocket launchers right here. Even the BFG secret is just a hallway you can walk down. Hell, even the plasma gun is— oh shit! A jump scare, and you have to defend yourself using that very plasma gun. Very cheeky of you. And there's one spot I really like. When you run out of shotgun ammo, which you will, you can come across this room right here, which is a maze where you're given a berserk. Not only is this free health, it also gives you the tools to punch the shit out of these shotgun guys and earn your ammo back. Intentional design. I like it. Unfortunately, we've reached the end of the good things I can say about this map. So let's start with possibly the biggest failure of all. You can beat this map without shooting. That is not a joke, that is not a goof, that is reality. And it all boils down to one crucial mistake. This yellow keycard. Why is this here? Why is it just in a little corner, unguarded by anything? Why is it not placed in a location where it would conventionally be guarded by, you know, some monsters? Maybe? This yellow keycard is the linchpin of this map's flaws, because it makes almost everything else redundant. This opens a door that leads to the blue keycard, which is literally the door to end the level. Which means that is all that you need to do. Weave past all the enemies, grab the yellow keycard, open the door, grab the blue keycard, and exit. How do you mess this up? I don't think I need to speak on the significance of making 90% of your entire level, unintentionally, but intentionally, apparently, redundant. And even if you were to play it normally, the card is still placed in a stupid location that would make absolutely no sense in terms of progression. Overall, good map. Map 19, the Citadel. And now we're back. Back to another strange, confusing mess of inscrutable ideas stitched together by hopes and dreams. This time, you're in a castle, I think? I don't have the brain power to analyze this, so I'll just ask some rhetorical questions and pass it off as worthwhile criticism. Here goes. Why does a vanilla map have texture errors pop up in the console? Why can you run straight to the right for a green armor and then immediately to a blue armor? Why is there a door that leads to a wall and a wall that's actually a door? Why do you click on doors to open them sometimes, but some other times you need to click a button? Why are you using switch textures for decoration? Why is this red keycard considered a secret? What the fuck is this little inescapable poison hole with rockets? There are 2 skulls here and I don't even know what one of them actually does. Why is the yellow keycard in a dodgy hidden hallway that's also considered a secret? Why is there a giant red building with a ton of monsters that contains absolutely nothing of use and just teleports to different parts of the castle? And finally, where the fuck is the blue keycard? I think I've played this map at least a dozen or more times, but I don't think I've ever gotten the blue keycard. Hi folks, Future Carbine here, and according to this Discord user that I asked, it's apparently in this teleporter in the red building. Am I gonna verify that? Fuck no. Or even have the slightest idea of how to properly route and navigate this map in my head. It's a stupid maze, and it's an ugly maze too. The only part that looks kinda decent is this red building, and it doesn't even do anything. Fuck this map. Now, I would like you to imagine the coolest battle of all time. Now times that by 1,000. Hey, what are you shooting at me for? Map 20. Gotcha! This map has a great concept. An incredible concept, in fact. 2 of the biggest, baddest enemies in the game fighting to the death with one coming out victorious. Just the idea can melt the skin right off the face of any radical 90s teenager. Unfortunately, it barely works. 9 times out of 10, when you enter this arena, you're gonna get shot by the cyber or the mastermind, resulting in your quick and painful demise. Even more disturbingly, Sandy unleashes a fucking archvile on you while giving you almost no cover to hide behind. This results in you running from a mastermind, a cyber demon, and an archvile, all in this shitty ass oval. You're a side character in this battle, and it is expected for you to die. When you do escape, however, the rest of the map is remarkably unremarkable. It concludes kinda spicily with this little monster closet, but it's nothing to really write home about. For the penultimate map of Chapter 2, the spectacle was there, I guess, but in execution, that was a wet fart. Folks, I'll be honest, I've been working on this video for around 3 months now. And I could have had it done way sooner, but honestly, these maps give me either so little or so much to talk about that I find it hard to scrounge up enough motivation to just sit down and get all of these done in like 1 or 2 sessions. So far, Doom 2 has been incredibly inconsistent, and there is absolutely no reason for me to believe that Episode 3 will be much better. After all, Episode 3 for Doom 1 was absolute dog shit. How could this be any better? Ow! Fuck! Can you please stop doing that?
Well. Look who's arrived. Took you so long I just published another board game. Anyhow, you finally reached my magnum opus. You will feel the passion emanating from my 3 beautiful works of genius. My 3 children of the corn. My 3-headed Cerberus. And then, you will finally know your place.
Yeah, sorry, I just took a shower. What did he say? It can't be that bad. Right? Oh God. This map is like an abortion. The parallels are all there. It's an unorganized mess of parts and pieces that were unwittingly stitched together before being released prematurely by an unloving creator. Where do I even start? I guess the starting room. It has a shitload of health packs here because this was the attempt to make a hub room for players to return to. A frankly stupid idea that I feel was only done to lazily circumvent having to distribute health around the level in a balanced way. Then, there's this twisty snail shell kind of room with a load of shotgunners and specters. This part was a bitch, cause I was given barely any ammo, and running to pick up dropped shells from killed enemies only made me more vulnerable to any hit scan coming my way. The 4 revenants they sick on you at the end don't help either. Go through this teleporter and you're met with brown. Why are there 4 switches here and only 2 of them work? Why do you have to click both of them to have this staircase actually walkable, and then it leads down to 2 identical teleporters? Okay, let's take the left one. It just takes you back? And if you enter the same one again, it's... What? Okay, fine. Let's go to the right. Fuck you. Swarming the player like this with absolutely no warning? No excuse. That's bullshit. Stomach that garbage, get the yellow keycard, and you reach this. Ugh. Even back in the 90s, this was horrific looking. Red, green, and rocky gray is ugly in any time and any place. You trudge through this mud and this sludge, and just as a final fuck you to common decency, this gap is so wide you don't even need a blue keycard. 0 out of 10. What the fuck are you doing? Map 22. The Catacombs. This map is not bad. It really isn't. It's by American McGee, the known voice of reason in the entire Doom 2 map chronology. And it's honestly a very competent map. The opening section can be tough if you're not prepared for it though. Taking this elevator is straight up suicide, as you'll be instantly turned into mincemeat. But press this green torch and with a little effort, you will be granted a plasma gun. Its high DPS will make that first fight far less daunting. For the rest of the map, it's a good idea to always be on the lookout for those red 6-barreled bastards, as they can absolutely nuke you if you're unlucky enough to be caught off guard. This Baron fight is kinda mean when you're not given a super shotgun at all, but it can be pretty easily dodged. Or, just do this. Visually, this map is good. American has a good grasp on the themes and atmosphere he wants his maps to portray, and so his texture work and detailing remains very solid, as opposed to Sandy's approach of building all of his maps from right angles and triangles. The layout is slightly confusing when all 4 corners of this map kinda look the same, but it isn't a big deal. The whole thing is simple anyway. Get blue, get red, get out. And I'll be frank, I'd written an entire segment on how this very secret, which is hidden behind the player's back, was an example of bad game design. I would have loved to have found this in my first playthrough, because I kept getting fucking destroyed by those opening chain gunners. But I realized after replaying that it was simply a skill issue, and I just had to be a little bit more wary. So yeah, overall, a very enjoyable map. Man, I have been talking so much I could really use a good water. So let me go and get some water right now.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Number 27 is next up, and then 24. And just when he thinks it's over, number 23 will surely be his demise. But sir, what is the purpose of killing this diminutive mortal? Surely there are bigger fish to fry. It's not about who, Sean. It's about sending the message. Yes, he has returned. Now, we will see his mind slowly deteriorate as he basks in the beauty of my creations. What the?
A Windows update is required. Please do not shut
What's up, guys? Welcome to the lightning round that's happening for no particular reason, where I'm gonna review some of the remaining maps and then we are done with this game. Let's go. Map 25, Blood Falls. This map was made by Sean Green and it's terrible. It's slathered in damaging blood floors and an inordinate amount of hit scanners, artificially inflating the difficulty and lowering the pace. And in spite of that, the map is still piss easy and extremely short, being beatable in just around 5 minutes. No reason for this to be so late in the game. It deserves to be in episode 2. Map 26, The Abandoned Mines. A pretty decent map all things considered, but again, it doesn't belong. It's situated in a mundane tech-based looking area, which I personally don't think qualifies as an abandoned mine, or say that it thematically fits into episode 3, Hell. It's a perfectly serviceable map with some decent action, but then again, squarely belongs in the previous chapter. Map 28, The Spirit World. There's a bunch of rocky fire textures. This wall is fake for some reason and you're just supposed to know that. It gives off some really good Hell vibes with this fleshy hallway that also has some fake walls. This massive lava cavern This massive lava cavern is pretty sick, but its impact is dulled massively by the sheer prevalence of these invulnerabilities. The map's navigation is still pretty confusing, but overall, not a bad experience and one that feels like it actually belongs. Map 29, The Living End. This map nails its own shitty concept very well. Small, tenuous walkways and platforms, and below them is poisonous floor that may as well be instant death. You're given fuck all for weapons and health for half the map, so the pacing gets shot in the foot. There's also an overabundance of hit scanners, and this last area can eat my ass. 2 barons? Really? Then it tries to jump scare you with a cyber demon at the end, but you can just run past it and exit. Not a great map, but I sure hope I don't have to walk any more tightropes with Doom's slippery ass movement. Map 30, Icon of Sin. Wow, the boss already? Not gonna question it. And the level of disappointment I have with this is only topped by the dry fart that was Doom 1's final boss. This one's at least got some moisture. The gist is that the wall boss, the Icon of Sin, rapidly spawns random monsters into the room, and your job is to survive long enough to reach this central platform and shoot it 3 times in the brain. That's it. It doesn't reset when you shoot 1 rocket, just 3 shots and it's dead. Game over. What a shitload of fuck. What were they thinking? Alright, thanks for watching YouTube. Goodbye! Wait. Hey. Calm down. Okay, I'll review the fucking levels. Okay. I'll review your fucking levels, okay? Don't kill me. I didn't want to do this, did I? But here we go. Map 27, Monster Condo. So he really wasn't joking when he said this was a magnum opus. This map is great when you play it correctly. This is what all those forum posters were saying about routing. The act of trying to find the correct order to do things while suffering the consequences of your mistakes. Modern Doom map designers have pretty much abandoned this philosophy by either making the map have only one proper way forward or by making every selectable path have an equal amount of supplies and enemies. This map does not do that, but the consequences for not following the best order are generally not catastrophic. The problem lies in knowing what the correct order even fucking is. And even when you have half of the map's order down in your mind, you can still get fucked over because this map breaks down very easily. What strikes me as well is how this map is split very jarringly. You go into this nice looking library with nicely designed fights and all that, you get the yellow key, kill some specters and some imps, etc. And then you open this door. What? An almost scarily blank room. and then an arrow points you towards where you need to go. This shit screams rushed so loudly you can say fuck you before you can say... I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway, making sense of Sandy's design decisions would drive the sanest man out of his mind, as well as interpreting which elements were intentional and which were simply products of the crunch hour. But I will give credit where credit is due, and credit is in fact due. The trick in the green room where you get teleported to another room that looks the exact same was really cool, and undoubtedly confused the hell out of some kids in the 90s. The 4 pillars here, this carousel of death, was also a pretty neat concept. This room can go fuck itself though. Hopefully this will be the last we see of these shit-tinted shitheads. Anyway, the combat is in general pretty good, if you have the tools to face them. The colorful cast of Doom 2 enemies is pretty much in full effect, making for some of the most challenging encounters in the entire game. Therefore, I don't really hate this map at all, but it really does epitomize the essence of Doom 2. It's good, but it had not been rushed, it could have been great. Huh. So you chose to show me the map that is the most representative of Doom 2's triumphs and flaws, along with some of the best combat you have in the entire game. I mean, I wouldn't rate it anywhere above a 6, but hey, good job. Good job. This is good. And if this is just one of 3 maps, I mean, okay, all right. Probably in for a real treat here. What's the next one? What the fuck did you do? So, okay. The whole concept behind this map is that you walk on these tiny, skinny platforms, tight ropes basically, above a bunch of poison water. Why? Why would you go out of your way to practically neutralize the player like this? The strength of Doom's combat, and the reason that it's so timeless, is partially because of how well it scales to large areas. Doom's movement is incredibly slippery and fast, and yet it's just the right speed to accommodate for any combat situations you might come across. The downside? Precision is very difficult. That's why despite being one of the most popular games in the world to mod, Doom has a very small number of movement-related maps made for it, as opposed to its peers in Valve games or Minecraft. That's why this is particularly fucked up. Maintaining control over Doom Guy over these precarious ledges can be done, but it is not enjoyable. And if you do fall off, of course you take damage, but the teleporters you use to get to safety often just put you in bumfuck nowhere. Why would I want to be halfway across the map after I fall off here? It's like it's intentionally designed to make falling as frustrating as possible without killing you outright. In fact, insta-killing you would be better, since with saves it can act as an automatic teleporter back to the spot of the fall. And let's keep in mind that again, I'm playing Doom 2 with a modern engine. Imagine, almost 30 years ago now, some little kid with a crummy CRT monitor playing this in low resolution with keyboard aiming. That would be brutal. I can understand wanting a fun, striking gimmick in the final chapter of the game, but this whole concept and the way it's been carried out is the very antithesis of fun. The worst part is, the set pieces that surround this horrendous method of transportation are actually not bad. The part where you get the super shotgun is pretty good, and this blue room where you get to punch the hell out of some pinkies is great. The sludge maze at the start really wasn't though. This map is probably the least compatible map in the game for pistol starting players, but you weren't really meant to play the game in a pistol start, so I'm not gonna dock it for that. But still, what a travesty. Okay, that's over. That's okay. You piece of shit. Fine. Barrels of fun. Whatever the fuck that is. Don't kill me on this one. balls of fun! Fun. Fuck you! I take back what I said about the previous map. This is the most hostile map towards pistol start players because you are given almost nothing that could ease the pain in the slightest. There are 3 layers to playing the opening section of this map. Yes, just the opening. It isn't as complex as that sentence makes it sound, but it's still some absolute bullshit that a player of a game like Doom shouldn't have to deal with. And to play the role of a clueless player, here is test subject Carbine. Take it away, pal. Oh, I spawned next to some barrels. Shit. Better move. Oh god! Run. Okay. Now to get to the end of this hallway. Nice. Okay. Alright, here's some green armor. And okay, there's pain elementals, like quite a few of them. Okay, where's the health? Where do I find weapons? Okay, here's the shotgun, and I can go through this teleporter and get all of these. Okay, nice. Let's go back. Holy shit! Help! Yep, that is layer 1. If you simply go straight ahead, you are fucked. You are given a pistol and practically nothing. And if you anger the meatballs, you are absolutely fucked. They will spawn lost souls every 2 seconds, and by the time you have gear, you'll already be late and the situation is now unsavable. This was the intuitive way forward, and I'm sure many people's first experiences with this level went exactly like this. And then they either lower the difficulty, or they just drop the game entirely and go download fun Doom mods to mess around with. Or maybe in 94 they swap back to their Ultima Underworld or something, I don't know. The actual intended way was for you to run past the explosions, then run backwards and get all of the loot. First is these shells and the shotgun by the corpse of the Mancubus, and then the chain guns, ammo bags, and the Berserk in the second room. This Berserk may be understandably interpreted as something only meant to provide health should you get hurt by the explosions. This notion is incorrect. Anyway, layer 2. Take it away, test subject Carbine. Alright, I think I know what to do now. Run forward, wait for all the barrels to blow up, then run back and get the loot. Nice. I now have a shotgun and some shells. Just gonna do the same here. And now I have 100 health and armor, shotgun shells, and I'm gonna do that snide-ass narrator Carbine motherfucker one better. I'm gonna use my Berserk to punch the shit out of those meatballs, because if you move close to them, they can't spawn lost souls very effectively. I'm punching them, this is pretty effective. But now it's opened the other side of the room, and now there's another meatball over there, spitting skulls and imps throwing fireballs and shit at me, and my health is reaching really uncomfortable levels. No. God damn it. Yep, believe it or not, this is still ineffective. And this is even the method that I believe was the true, intended way of playing this level. And that really was the actual purpose of that Berserk. Taking out the meatballs. And yet, you are still incredibly susceptible to the swarm of lost souls around you, and God forbid you accidentally punch a barrel or it explodes due to contact from these flaming fuckheads. If you even survive, those enemies on the other side of the room will be there to fuck you up, along with the giant horde of pinkies, which will show up promptly. But we'll get to that later. For now, layer 3. Now, let's first do this room the way it was actually meant to be done. First, run to the exit like normal, wait for everything to explode, and then run back and get the shotgun. And then, shoot. Or you could punch to save ammo. Either way, it will awaken everything on the left side of the room, and now you are free to shoot them. Focus your fire on the meatball, of course, and in a best case scenario, you will have cleared that whole left side of the room. Then do the next chamber normally. Once you enter this teleporter, immediately start punching the meatball Sandy has helpfully placed behind you to make sure you don't know about it until it's already too late. And now, there will be nothing or very little that can distract you from the other side, making it much less incredibly aggravating to punch these round and brown fuckers to death. This right here is the optimal way to play the beginning of this level, and it requires the player to have already known that the other half of the opening room has enemies and that you have to kill them as completely as possible. I don't think I need to tell you how much of an absolute horror story of level design this is. If Super Mario Bros. 1-1 was a friendly teacher that helpfully guided you through the subject while keeping you fully engaged in the lesson, Barrels of Fun is like someone handing you a riddle and then making fun of you for not finding the answer, which was hidden inside the question the whole time, even though you'd have absolutely no idea in the first place. Like, nah, the answer was so easy. It was right there the whole time. Don't you feel like an idiot for not figuring out earlier, you stupid bitch? You're a fucking dolt. That is what this level is saying to me, and it's not something you want your level to say to your fucking player. The worst part is, we aren't even done. No, there's the entire remaining half of the level. After you've defeated the brown acorns, a giant army of pinkies will show up, and the best advice I can give to you is, try and kill as many as possible from afar, and then punch the shit out of them while moving constantly. This gyration technique is to avoid as many of the pinkies' biting attacks as possible, and trust me, it works. And then, as if this couldn't get any more unintuitive, you go through the holes, get the rocket launcher, and then see archvile fire burning on your screen. Oh shit, what now? Oh, just jump down to the poison liquid and then it teleports you to where you actually need to go? God, please end this already. And then it's just a matter of shooting some enemies that come at you in a straight line using the guns and ammo you are provided, featuring probably the least effective spider mastermind I've ever seen. Go to the teleporter, and then it does some more funny stuff with the barrels. Just run back and get the chain guns and shoot them. And then finally, you can exit. Ugh. Throughout my years of playing Doom, I have never seen something so asinine. This is why it took me so fucking long to finish this game and finish this video. Shit like this. You would expect stupid, unintuitive gimmicks in design like this to come from the minds of an inexperienced modder, not the official fucking game. And so what that Sandy was only there for 9 months? This was clearly intentional and laid out exactly the way he wanted to. These ideas were flawed from the start, and I can't fucking believe that I just sat through it and wasted hours of my time playing it and talking about it, and this shit is fucking terrible. I can't believe this.
No! You don't understand anything. You don't know how hard I worked for this. They hired me for 9 months, and I was forced to finish this game. And now all of you lowlives drag me for this. 30 years later, you know nothing of my pain.
I know how hard it is to be put into a project and then you did everything you could, but it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. But hey, look man, you made levels in a game that's been played by hundreds of millions of people. You've made things that have pushed the boundaries of this engine beyond what could be seen in the first game. That is very commendable. Your levels were the prototypes for so many mods in the future. And that is something to be proud of. Even if your levels were absolutely fucking dog shit poo-poo, they were played by millions. And even to this day, there are people who absolutely love your maps. Okay? So, you can be proud of you. You can be proud of you. Now get the fuck out of here.
What is he doing? No! No!
This is for ruining my fucking life! This is for everything you've done to me! Die! Die! So, is Doom 2 actually worth playing? Kind of. Fundamentally, Doom 2 is a great game. The gameplay foundation on which it is built is absolutely incredible, and has held up tremendously well compared to most DOS-era video games. It has a sort of magic to it that only it can capture, and any new boomer shooters releasing nowadays can't ever evoke the same feeling. But, for reasons above, I would definitely recommend against playing vanilla Doom 2, simply because you can download, for free, thousands and thousands of fan-made Doom levels that run circles around what you've seen here. I think of vanilla Doom 2 not as much as a game to play as it is like Gmod, a base to add mods and add custom maps onto. And trust me, you will have a lot more fun doing that. Hey, thank y'all so much for watching this video. It took a long time to make. It took 7 months to make, I think, if I recall correctly. And no, it did not require most of that time. I'd like to thank my friend South for showing up and playing the role of the real-life Sandy Peterson. He was a real big help for me. And I'd like to thank you for watching this video and for being so patient with me, and also watching this hour-long adventure. Well, hope to see you next time. Take care. Peace.